Hello guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about routines because my goals for 2025 are here, they're ready. I'm ready to start accomplishing them, but now I need a tool, a system that will help me to actually achieve what I want. So this is why I'm talking about productivity today. So if you're looking for some small inspiration and understanding of how you can be more productive, then stay with me. But before we jump to actual tips, there is something that I want to mention. I think that is super important. It is the fact that when I'm talking about productivity, I don't mean this over accomplishing toxic behavior where you just want to dedicate every single second of every single minute of every single day of your life to achieving goals, whatever they are. You just get inspired by random people and you just want to achieve it. No. For me, productivity, again, is a tool, because when I have created my goals and I have my vision, I understand what I want. And I also understand what I need to do in order to get there. But now I just need, a tool, like a little bit of boost of a system that will bring me that motivation to be there and that will allow me to actually achieve it. Like, this is what I mean by productivity. So if you have the same understanding, then I think you'll like this video. But if you don't, please share in the comment what productivity means to you, because I think this is an interesting topic. But now let's actually jump to thing number one. Thing number one is simple and also hard. It is creating a routine. I think routines are a secret weapon. And when I'm saying create a routine, some people may be like, oh my God, your life is so boring. You just do the same things over and over again. Guys, it doesn't have to be like that unless you want it to. Because routine doesn't equal boredom. Routine actually helps you to create the freedom, because there are certain parts of your day that are dedicated to specific things and you have like sort of blocks. Like for me, what a routine is for me. For me, it is based on a sleeping routine. So I know that I go to bed every single day at the same time more or less, and I wake up at the same time more or less. And I have my morning and evening routine, and then I have the whole day. And I know that there are segments of the day that I want to dedicate to work, to sport, to family, to hobbies, to whatever. And that way I actually do a lot because I know my values. And this is what is important. My values are important for me and my routines are built around it. It doesn't mean that I don't allow myself to go crazy from time to time and be chaotic and spontaneous. Well, it doesn't mean that at all. So routines do not equal boredom. What is important to understand that it doesn't matter if you're, for example, a night owl and an early bird. If you have a predictable schedule, it helps your brain to know when you need to focus. So this is where the power comes from, and it definitely works. It definitely works for me, and I know other people for whom it works, so don't be afraid to try a routine. And thing number two, creating a routine helped me to understand the time of the day where I perform the best. So I've been watching myself and analyzing my behavior, my productivity, and I know exactly that I'm the most productive in the morning, like from 8 to 11 or 12, and then in the evening from like 4 to 7. So in the middle of the day, I know that I'm not the best at performing, so I'd rather leave it to some less priority tasks or some personal things or stuff like that. So this is something that you can also understand for yourself. If you have that routine, just try to analyze and just be more mindful about the thing that you do, and that will definitely help you find the time slots in which you need to do most of the things in order to accomplish your goals. Number three, of course, we gotta mention creating a planning system. And it doesn't matter if you're using digital format or you are more a fan of like notebooks like I am and planners. It doesn't matter. You gotta create a planning system that will allow you to write down and to track your goals and to also monitor them in some like different periods of time, like for example, yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, etc. So there are many different planning systems in the world, and you have to experiment to find what works for you. But this is crucial. I don't think I need to talk more about that. This is pretty obvious. But just remember, number four, that you shouldn't keep anything in your head. This is the rule of productivity for me. If I'm not putting it on paper, I'm not doing it, sort of. We don't want to create additional clutter in our brains. We just want everything to be there in our to-do lists and task lists or ideas list, whatever it is. whatever system you're using. Just remember to always write things down, and that way you will be able to, well, get them done. Also remember that offloading your mental clutter allows you to actually focus on what's important and what means the most to you, because sometimes you create a to-do list of all the things you want to do, and then you analyze it and understand that, well, some of those things, they actually don't matter, or they don't contribute to your long-term goals or your values, or you just heard about them from somebody, but they mean nothing to you. So write things down and work with them. Next thing, when working with your plans and goals and to-do lists, remember to break them down in smaller chunks. This will definitely bring more clarity in what you do and allow you to understand how to get there. You know, like you have a task to do, a homework. This is a good task, but what exactly you need to do? Like maybe you need to learn some poems or do some math. I don't know why homework came up all of a sudden, but that is the idea. The smaller the chunks, the easier it is to actually get things done. Plus, next thing, remember to cross out your tasks, because this can give you this mental boost of like sense of accomplishing something. And sometimes it is super nice and it helps you to go on and on and on, because then your brain is like, oh, it's nice, I have achieved something, I have crossed something out of the list, now I can move on and do more and more and more. And on that note, next advice is try to tackle hard things first. I know it is hard, but it is also, well, something that you probably gotta do if you want to be productive. So if you know the time of the day when you are the most productive, try to fit in the hardest tasks into that time period, because otherwise there is a chance that you will be procrastinating and just delaying it all. So you just gotta sit down and start doing it pretty much. If you don't feel like doing the hard task, maybe take 1 or 2 really small tasks to just get going and get the sense and feeling of the fact that you are accomplishing something, and then just start with the hard task straight away. Don't allow yourself to just rest and reset. Just go on and on and on. So that, I think, is doing miracles for me. If, again, I'm working with myself and reminding myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. Please don't forget to plan, rest, and reset, okay? This is super important. We don't want to get burned out. We need to remember that resting is part of productivity. And it should not be treated as something like, you know, that nobody should do if they want to be successful. Resting is super important. It's also important to have a quality rest, if you know what I mean. So please remember about that. It might be obvious again, but sometimes people forget, and discipline is important, but also allowing yourself to recharge is super crucial and important. And I've been there on the burnout road. If you haven't seen, check it out. But yes, rest is super, super important, and it is a big part of your productivity journey. Next important thing is, of course, to review your progress and celebrate it. So having a task management system allows you to actually review and monitor the progress. Celebration of your accomplishment is something that you can also include into your routine. For example, me, at the end of the week, I usually review the things that I needed to do throughout the week. I cross out all of the major tasks, and if I manage to accomplish it, I usually treat myself with some beauty procedures or maybe massage or maybe something like that, just, you know, to get that feeling that yes, I did good and I gotta continue. So create your own routine to celebrate your accomplishments, because I'm sure that you are super great and you deserve to be celebrated. Next important thing to remember is, of course, balance. And remember to do, if you can, every single day, do something that brings you joy. So do something that you actually enjoy, because productivity isn't only about doing things and achieving goals all the time. It's also about having fun. Why it is important is because that is something that will help you stay motivated and stay, well, actually energetic to do what you want to do to accomplish your goals. Because we obviously don't live for the sake of only accomplishing goals. Life is so much more than that. So please do not forget about it. And don't jump into that toxic productivity mindset. For example, in the morning, you can do something you actually enjoy, because, you know, sometimes waking up to know that what you need to do is to work, or go to school, it can be a bit overwhelming from time to time. But if you wake up knowing that you are starting your day with something you like, for example, a cup of a brilliant, nice Japanese green tea, or a walk in the park that you really like, or a morning pages journal, or an audiobook, whatever, or maybe time with your family whom you love so much, then you will already feel this boost of excitement that will help you get through the day. And the last honorable mention that helps me feel productive is using 25-5 or 90-30 approach to accomplishing tasks. It depends on how hard the task is and whether or not it can be split into smaller chunks. But the point is that I usually use Pomodoro, I think I mentioned it before, because it allows me to create these sessions of productivity boost and then reset, productivity boost, reset. And during, for example, 25-5, in my 5 minutes break, I usually turn on a 5-minute workout dance routine, and that's what I do. So I worked and then I allow my muscles to work. The blood is flowing everywhere through my body and I feel again recharged and energetic. I open the window, fresh air in, all these kinds of things. So working using Pomodoro really helps, but you can use any other system that you want. So this is it. These are things I stand by and I believe in them and I do them, but I also need to remind myself from time to time about them, because otherwise I also can get into that procrastination road. So what I actually did, I've written them down and I placed it right above my table where I usually work and do my thing, in order to remind myself about the tools that I'm using. And yes, guys, I really hope you find this video interesting and helpful. And please share your ideas on how to stay productive with us. We are really interested to find out more about that. And as usual, guys, have a great and beautiful day. I hope you're having a nice holidays, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.